it is such a cool sight to see this Gen 3 Mustang rolling out onto the racetrack with the famous number 17 on the side and driven by the even more famous Richard Johnson. So Dick Johnson is at the helm. It's a special moment for the 7th generation of the Ford Mustang. And on board with DJ, and this is a familiar sight and sound, NC in the commentary box, DJ behind the wheel. Hello, Mr. Johnson, can you hear me?
Yeah, mate. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Turn 2, remember your way around here, DJ. It's about 23 corners, 6.2 Ks. You've done one or two things around here.
Yeah, once or twice, mate.
Plenty of wind noise in the background on Dick's boom mic there. He's up at the cutting, remembering, of course, the extraordinary success that he's had in his career. 3-time winner of the great race, runner-up on a couple of occasions, 2 poles, 26 starts, made famous by the big rock incident, Mark Scaife.
Right there, in exactly that spot, coming up out of the cutting, up under the tree. Doesn't that car look tremendous? What's it feel like, Dick Johnson, to be the first one to drive the 7th generation Mustang across the top of this famous mountain?
It feels absolutely fantastic, mate.
Have a look at the crowd up there. First time anywhere in the world that the new generation Mustang running around. The car looks fantastic, Cropper, doesn't it?
Down there earlier in the day with Jess for the reveal, the world reveal with the leadership team from Ford and all of the Ford drivers, including those that are joining for next year, and certainly a very, very special moment. Stephen Johnson and Jet Johnson, son and grandson of the driver out on the racetrack at the moment watching. Remembering Stephen's great drives here, got him on the podium in a proud moment. And actually earlier this year, all three got to drive Shell V-Power Racing Team Mustangs at Queensland Raceway, arranged by Ryan Story. A very special moment for them. And in fact, we've got an extended interview celebrating 1,000 races for Dick Johnson racing in the championship this weekend, ironically. And we did a long sequence of interviews with Dick, and he talks about the emotion of seeing the family out there all dressed up in the race colours, and so look out for that in the broadcast later in the weekend. So now right about here, if memory serves me, I'd be asking him whether or not the rear wing had fallen off the car back when.
1995, I was following him.
That's right.
He come down into the chase, the rear wing parted company with the back of his Falcon, and off the road he went. It was a championship race. It wasn't actually the Bathurst 1000, but it was a pretty spooky moment in that part of the track. But doesn't, as I said before, doesn't the car look fantastic? I love the lineage of Ford and the participation of this nameplate. It's just such a famous nameplate, Neil. Mustang. It just exudes everything about car racing that we love.
Big project, and headed up by Mark Rushbrook, the Global Director of Ford Performance and Motorsports. And this is the Camaro being driven by Greg Murphy, 4-time winner of the race. And the Ford project here at Dick Johnson Racing's been headed by Perry Capper in the Gen 3 project. And of course, there's been corresponding engineers at Dearborn in Michigan, just outside Detroit. So we're so thrilled to see both these cars on the racetrack, and that brand new Mustang unveiled earlier today. Greg Murphy is at the helm of the Camaro running up to turn 2. He's got a busy comeback weekend in supercars. He's listening in the background. Hello, Greg.
Hello, gentlemen. How are we?
Very well, very well. Great moment, great honour, Greg, to be able to jump in this thing and to get a sample, to get a taste of what the new generation of supercar racing is going to be like from 23 onwards.
You are not wrong, Croppo. I feel very honoured. I feel honoured just to be here this weekend and driving, but this is a huge addition to the whole experience, mate. And I'm hoping that everyone up on the top of the mountain is enjoying seeing these two amazing new cars, that's for sure.
Hey, Murph Scaife, what's the car feel like? I mean, it's so different in terms of its shape and all the great things that have been engineered into it. What's it feel like steering-wise and engine power-wise?
Straight away, it's the lightness, Scaife, just straight out the gate. It's just how light the car feels. The steering's very good. But the engine, just the way it seems to be accelerating, already it feels lighter than the Commodore that I drove this morning. So, and in the cabin, very GT3 sort of style kind of feel, with how small the letterbox out the front is, very small and compact. And the driving position, I really love it. I feel very comfortable sitting in this driving position. It feels fantastic.
It worries me you feeling comfortable in that car. In fact, I think Neil and I will call the Bathurst City Council to make sure the gates are closed, because as a Kiwi, it's a big chance to steal this thing.
Oh, dear.
And, mate, you are so lucky we're not back in New Zealand.
Yeah. I'm actually...
There's a lot of Kiwis here this weekend. They're going to come find you, mate.
Murph, I'm surprised, A, they let him in a couple of weeks ago. B, they let him out. So I apologise on behalf of our country.
So we definitely wanted him to go back. There's no doubt about that.
Well, it's great to have you out there, mate. Brand new Chev Camaro. It marks the arrival of Chevrolet Racing to supercar competition in 2023. Huge design team in Detroit responsible for that project as well. And 5.7 litre engine in the Camaro, 5.4 litre engine, the Ford Coyote in the Mustang. And I must say, now seeing it on television, having seen it in the flesh, obviously saw all the drawings like everybody else, and you've been deeply involved in the project, Mark, but to physically see it now out on the racetrack and on TV, it looks even better than I imagined.
Absolutely, and can you imagine, just fast forward to a full field of these at Newcastle in the early part of 2023, it is going to be unbelievable.
Looking forward to it. So great moment for us to enjoy Dick Johnson, Greg Murphy on the mountain once more in the Ford Mustang and the Chev Camaro. Hey Jez, this is just a tiny little entree for what's to come in 2023.
Well, the countdown is well and truly on now, isn't it, Neil, for Gen3 debuting at Newcastle, and what a treat to have a taste of it here on the mountain with two legends